In the last episode, our small group of rebels successfully infiltrated the Lyrian government, bringing hope to a city long shrouded in darkness. The echoes of our victories still resonated within me, and the warmth of my companion's admiration had barely begun to fade. I stood on the edge of the rooftop, gazing out at the sprawling metropolis. The city's lights twinkled like stars in the evening sky, a stark contrast to the shadows that had once consumed us. A message from our enigmatic ally had just arrived, its contents etched in my mind like a burning brand. Meet me at the old windmill on the outskirts of town at midnight. Come alone. My heart quickened as I descended into the winding streets, the silence broken only by the soft hum of the city's night activity. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that unblinking eyes were trained on me from the darkness. As I approached the windmill, a lone figure emerged from the shadows. It was Dr. Orion, her wild hair a testament to her reclusive nature. Her eyes sparkled with an intensity that made me wonder what secrets she kept hidden behind her brilliant mind. "Alex, we've been searching for you," she said, her voice low and urgent. "I have information about the Aethereian archive, information that could change everything." I felt a jolt of excitement mixed with trepidation. The archive was a myth, a legend whispered among the rebels. But if it existed, it held the key to unlocking Lyra's biotechnology secrets. "What do you know?" I asked, my mind racing with possibilities. "Elara, the cartographer, has created maps that can lead us to the archive," Dr. Orion replied, her words tumbling out in a rush. "But she's gone missing, and I believe she's the only one who can guide us through the Forsaken City." The Forsaken City was a place of dark legend, a realm of ancient ruins and whispered terrors. I steeled myself for what lay ahead, knowing that I had to find Elara and the archive. "Let's go," I said, a sense of determination settling within me. Dr. Orion nodded, and together we set off into the night, bound for the Forsaken City and the secrets that lay hidden within its crumbling walls. As we walked, the city's lights receded into the distance, replaced by an eerie, unsettling silence. I could feel the weight of the unknown pressing down upon me, a sense of foreboding that I couldn't shake. "We're not alone," I whispered, my senses on high alert. Dr. Orion's eyes locked onto mine, a fierce glint burning within them. "I know," she said, "we're being watched." Suddenly, the darkness seemed to coalesce into shapes, figures emerging from the shadows like specters. I readied myself for battle, my heart pounding in my chest. But as the figures drew closer, I saw that they were not enemies. They were allies, their faces worn and weary, but their eyes burning with a fire that I recognized. Lyra stood among them, her sword at the ready. Aaron, the cunning smuggler, was there too, a look of determination etched on his face. "We've been tracking you, Alex," Lyra said, her voice firm. "We know what you're searching for, and we're willing to help." I hesitated for a moment, unsure if I could trust these newcomers. But something about their words resonated within me. We needed their help, and I knew it. Together, we set off into the Forsaken City, bound for the Aethereian archive and the secrets that lay hidden within. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I knew that I was not alone. I had my friends, and together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we walked, the ruins loomed before us, their crumbling walls a testament to a civilization long lost. I felt a shiver run down my spine, a sense of awe mixed with trepidation. "We're getting close," Dr. Orion whispered, her eyes locked onto something in the distance. I followed her gaze, and my heart skipped a beat. A figure stood before us, her eyes locked onto mine with an unnerving intensity. "Elara," I whispered, a sense of wonder washing over me. The cartographer's gaze lingered on mine, and then she nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "I've been waiting for you, Alex," she said. "I've been waiting for a long time." And with that, our journey into the heart of the Aethereian archive began, a journey that would change the course of our lives forever. Previously, Alex received a cryptic message from an enigmatic ally, leading him to Dr. Orion, who revealed information about the fabled Aethereian archive and the need to find cartographer Elara to guide them through the Forsaken City. Alex, joined by Dr. Orion, ventured into the ancient Aethereian ruins, only to be ambushed by shadowy figures who surprisingly turned out to be allies, including Lyra and Aaron, ready to aid in the quest for the Aethereian archive. As we stood before Elara, the cartographer, a sense of trepidation crept over me. Something about her unnerving intensity, the way her eyes seemed to bore into my soul, made me question whether we had made a grave mistake. Dr. Orion's eyes darted back and forth, as if searching for hidden clues, while Lyra and Aaron flanked us, ready to intervene if needed. Elara's gaze never wavered, her small smile now replaced by an unreadable mask. "I've been waiting for a long time," she repeated, her words laced with an undercurrent of mystery. "But you're not the only one searching for the archive." Her eyes flickered, and in that instant I sensed the weight of unseen forces gathering around us previously. Alex received a cryptic message from an enigmatic ally, leading him to Dr. Orion, who revealed information about the fabled Aethereian archive and the need to find cartographer Elara to guide them through the Forsaken City. Alex, joined by Dr. Orion, ventured into the ancient Aethereian ruins, only to be ambushed by shadowy figures who surprisingly turned out to be allies, including Lyra and Aaron, ready to aid in the quest for the Aethereian archive. As Elara's words hung in the air, the silence was shattered by the sound of whirring gears, and the walls of the ancient ruin began to tremble. The ground beneath our feet started to rumble, and a blast of dust and debris shot up, illuminating the dark chamber. Elara's mask-like expression didn't change, but her eyes sparkled with a hint. "It seems we've triggered a trap," she announced, her voice level and detached. "The archive's guardians will not let us pass without a challenge." "Guardians?" Dr. Orion asked, his eyes scanning the walls as if searching for hidden mechanisms or entities. Lyra finished, her hand instinctively reaching for the hilt of her sword. "Ancient beings of Aetherea, tasked with safeguarding the archive's secrets." Aaron's voice chimed in, laced with a mixture of excitement and concern. "Sounds like we're about to get up close and personal with some serious power." As the chamber around us continued to shudder, Elara took a step forward, her movements fluid and calculated. "Follow me," she said, her eyes locked on some invisible point ahead. "We need to reach the heart of this ruin before the guardians awaken." We followed her, our footsteps echoing off the walls as we descended deeper into the heart of the ancient structure. The air thick with anticipation, the weight of the unknown pressing down on us. Elara led us through winding tunnels and hidden chambers, each step revealing a new layer of mystery. Finally, we reached a massive stone door, adorned with ancient runes that glowed with a faint, otherworldly energy. "This is it," Elara whispered, her eyes flicking to the symbols etched into the stone. "The entrance to the archive's antechamber." With her words, the air around us began to shift, as if the very fabric of reality was being pulled taut. A low hum, almost imperceptible, started to build in intensity. The runes on the door pulsed with an electric blue light, and the chamber around us began to reverberate with an ominous power. "Whatever is on the other side of that door," Lyra stated, her hand gripping her sword hilt tighter, "we're about to face it head-on." "The question is," Dr. Orion murmured, his eyes fixed on the pulsing symbols, "are we prepared to face what lies within?" The door began to rumble, the stone groaning under the pressure. I felt the weight of our quest settling onto my shoulders as the door creaked open, revealing a glimpse of an endless, star-filled void. "We're about to find out," I said, my voice firm, as I led the way into the unknown. The chamber beyond the door was unlike anything I had ever seen. The walls, floor, and ceiling seemed to blur into a single, seamless entity, as if the very fabric of space-time had been warped to create this room. The air was alive with a constant, pulsating energy that coursed through every molecule. Elara approached the center of the room where a pedestal stood, supporting a glowing crystal orb. The orb pulsed with a rhythm that seemed to match the beat of my own heart. "The antechamber of the archive," Elara announced, her voice filled with an air of reverence. Here lies the key to unlocking the secrets of Aethereian. As we gathered around the pedestal, the chamber itself began to react. The stars around us began to swirl, as if the very fabric of reality was being pulled apart. A low, omnipresent voice began to resonate through the chamber, its words echoing off the walls. "Who dares to disturb the balance?" I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the answer. "We are the seekers of the Aethereian archive," I said, my voice firm. "We seek to unlock the secrets that lie within." The voice responded, its tone unreadable. "You are but mere mortals, blind to the true power that lies before you. Are you prepared to pay the price for this knowledge?" I hesitated, the weight of the question settling onto my shoulders. "We will face whatever trials lie ahead," I said, my voice resolute. "We will not be deterred." The chamber fell silent, as if waiting for some unseen force to respond. Then, without warning, the stars around us erupted into a blaze of light, and the antechamber of the archive into chaos previously. Alex and his companions, including Dr. Orion, Lyra, and Aaron, navigated ancient Aethereian ruins, discovering artifacts and overcoming ambushes to reach the antechamber of the Aethereian archive, where they confronted an ominous, omnipresent voice that asked if they were prepared to pay the price for the knowledge they sought. "We will face whatever trials lie ahead," I said, my voice echoing off the walls. "We will not be deterred." And with those words, the star-filled void around us erupted into chaos. The chamber shook, the walls blurring into a kaleidoscope of colors, and the air filling with an electric charge. I felt the weight of the archive's power coursing through me, as if my very existence was being rewritten. When the chaos subsided, we found ourselves standing in a vast, dimly lit chamber filled with rows upon rows of ancient pedestals, each one supporting a glowing crystal orb. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and I could feel the power of the Aethereian archive calling to me. "By the Ancient Ones," Lyra whispered, her eyes wide with awe, "this is it. This is the archive." Elara approached one of the pedestals, her hands reaching out to touch the orb. As she did, the chamber around us began to shift, the pedestals and orbs disappearing and reappearing in a dizzying dance of light and shadow. "The archive is awakening," Elara announced, her voice filled with a mix of wonder and trepidation. "It is testing us, testing our resolve, our courage, and our determination." "And what does it want from us?" Aaron asked, his voice laced with a thread of fear. "It wants us to prove ourselves worthy," Dr. Orion replied, his eyes fixed on the shifting pedestals. "It wants us to uncover the secrets of the Aethereian past, to understand the true nature of the archive, and to harness its power." I felt the weight of the challenge settle onto my shoulders. We were on the cusp of unlocking the secrets of the Aethereian archive, but at what cost? Would we emerge victorious, or would we succumb to the trials that lay ahead? I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the unknown. I glanced at my companions, seeing the determination in their eyes. Together, we would face whatever challenges the archive threw our way. We would uncover the secrets of the Aethereian past, and we would harness its power to forge a brighter future. With a resolute voice, I said, "Let us begin previously." Alex and his companions reached the antechamber of the Aethereian archive, where they confronted an ominous voice that asked if they were prepared to pay the price for the knowledge they sought. With unwavering determination, they declared they would face whatever trials lay ahead, sparking a chaotic eruption that led them to the heart of the archive. As the chamber fell silent, Elara's words hung in the balance. "The archive is awakening, testing our resolve, our courage, and our determination." Alex's resolute voice echoed in the dimly lit chamber. "Let us begin." With an air of anticipation, Lyra stepped forward, her hand on the hilt of her sword. "We need to understand the layout of this chamber, identify the pattern of the pedestals and orbs." Dr. Orion nodded, his eyes scanning the room. "I believe I can help with that. My research on ancient Aethereian technology might hold the key to deciphering the archive's secrets." As Dr. Orion began to study the pedestals, Aaron approached Alex, his voice low and cautious. "Alex, we need to be careful. We don't know what kind of power we're dealing with here. What if the archive decides we're not worthy? Alex's determination didn't waver. We'll face that risk together as a team. We've come too far to turn back now. Elara, meanwhile, had wandered deeper into the chamber, her eyes fixed on a pedestal that seemed to be pulsing with an otherworldly energy. "Guys, I think I've found something," she called out, her voice tinged with excitement. As they gathered around her, they saw that the pedestal was surrounded by intricate patterns of light, swirling like a vortex. Elara reached out, her hand hovering above the pedestal. Suddenly, the air around her began to distort as if reality itself was bending to accommodate some hidden force. "What's happening?" Aaron asked, taking a step back, his eyes wide with wonder. "I think Elara's unlocked a portal," Dr. Orion said, his voice filled with awe. "It's a gateway, most likely leading to a deeper level of the archive." As the portal began to take shape, Lyra unsheathed her sword, her eyes locked on the swirling vortex. "We're not going anywhere without being prepared for a fight." With a steady breath, Alex nodded. "Let's do this. Together, we'll uncover the secrets of the Aethereian archive and unlock the power to forge a brighter future." Previously, Alex and his companion stood at the threshold of a mysterious portal, a gateway to a deeper level of the Aethereian archive. As Elara's discovery set their hearts racing with anticipation and trepidation. As they stepped through the shimmering portal, the air seemed to thicken around them, and the silence was oppressive, like the calm before a storm. The room beyond the portal was vast, with towering crystal spires that disappeared into the darkness above, casting an ethereal glow over the chamber. At the far end of the room, a figure stood, shrouded in shadows, its presence radiating an aura of ancient power. Lyra instinctively moved forward, her eyes fixed on the figure, her sword at the ready. Dr. Orion's gaze was riveted to the walls, where intricate patterns of Aethereian script danced across the surface, holding secrets of the forgotten past. Aaron's eyes darted around the room, searching for any hidden dangers, while Elara's gaze was fixed on the figure, her senses attuned to the resonant frequency of the archive. Alex felt the weight of their collective determination, and with a resolute step, he led them forward into the heart of the chamber. As they drew closer, the figure raised its head, and Alex beheld the visage of an Aethereian unlike any he had ever seen, one whose eyes burned with an eternal wisdom, and whose presence seemed to hold the very fabric of reality together. "Greetings, mortals," the figure said, its tone like the gentle rustling of leaves. "I am the keeper of the Aethereian archive. You have braved the trials and demonstrated your resolve. Now you shall be tested further to prove your worth to wield the secrets I guard." With a wave of its hand, the keeper summoned a trio of ancient artifacts, each one imbued with the essence of the Aethereian elements terra, aero, and aqua. "Choose wisely, mortals. The artifact you select will determine the course of your journey and the fate of Aetherea itself." The room fell silent as Alex and his companions pondered the weight of their decision. The fate of Aetherea hung in the balance as they stood at the threshold of their greatest challenge yet. Previously, Alex and his companions entered the heart of the Aethereian archive, where they encountered the enigmatic keeper, who presented them with a pivotal choice, selecting an ancient artifact imbued with the essence of the Aethereian elements terra, aero, or aqua to determine the course of their journey and the fate of Aetherea itself. As the keeper's words echoed in the chamber, Lyra's hand instinctively grasped the hilt, her warrior's instincts urging her to claim the terra artifact, which radiated an aura of solid ground and unyielding resilience. Dr. Orion's eyes sparkled with curiosity, drawn to the aero artifact's whispered secrets of the forgotten skies. Aaron's gaze darted between the trio, weighing the benefits of the aqua artifact's life-giving essence against the risks of its unpredictable power. Elara's senses reverberated with the resonant frequency of the archive, as she intuitively felt the balance of the universe hanging in the balance. With the weight of their collective fate, Alex stepped forward, his eyes locking onto the artifacts. "We don't choose," he declared, his voice echoing in the chamber. "Well, take all three." The room fell silent, as if the very fabric of reality had paused in anticipation of the keeper's response. The ancient Aethereian's visage remained unreadable, its eternal wisdom weighing the audacity of Alex's declaration. "Very well, mortals," the keeper said, its tone like a gentle breeze on the shores of a timeless lake. "Your boldness is, and perhaps, necessary. But be warned. The unity of the elements comes at a terrible cost, one that will test the very limits of your resolve, courage, and unity." The chamber began to shift, as if the fabric of reality itself was rearranging to accommodate their unprecedented choice. As the keeper's words faded, the room began to dissolve, replaced by a desolate, crimson-hued landscape, where the trio of artifacts now floated above the ground, radiating an intense, unified energy. The air was heavy with an otherworldly power, as if the very essence of the Aethereian realm was awakening in response to their audacious decision previously. Alex and his companions entered the heart of the Aethereian archive, where they encountered the enigmatic keeper, who presented them with a pivotal choice: selecting an ancient artifact imbued with the essence of the Aethereian elements terra, aero, or aqua to determine the course of their journey and the fate of Aetherea itself. In a bold move, Alex declared that they would take all three artifacts, prompting the keeper to warn them of a terrible cost that would test their resolve, courage, and unity. As the crimson-hued landscape solidified around them, Lyra's warrior instincts kicked into high gear, her eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. Dr. Orion's scientific curiosity was piqued, his mind racing with the possibilities of harnessing the unified energy emanating from the trio of artifacts. Aaron's smuggler's instincts were on high alert, his gaze darting between the artifacts and the shifting landscape, searching for any leverage or advantage they could exploit. Elara's senses were overwhelmed by the resonant frequency of the archive, as if the very essence of the universe was vibrating through every molecule of her being. Alex, however, felt a sense of calm, as if the weight of their collective fate had finally been shouldered. He gazed up at the artifacts, their intensity illuminating the dark landscape like beacons of possibility. In this moment, he knew that their journey was no longer about individual goals or aspirations, but about the collective destiny they had forged together. The unity of the elements and the terrible cost that came with it would be a burden they would carry together as one. "We need to move," Lyra said, her voice low and urgent, her warrior's instincts sensing the approaching storm. "Whatever this cost is, we need to be prepared to face it." Dr. Orion nodded in agreement, his eyes shining with scientific fascination. "The unified energy is unlike anything I've ever seen. We need to understand its properties, its limitations, its potential." As they began to move, the crimson-hued landscape shifting and morphing around them like a living entity, the air was heavy with anticipation, as if the very fabric of reality was holding its breath, waiting to see how they would wield the power of the unified elements. And then, in the distance, they saw it, a shimmering portal, pulsating with an energy that seemed to harmonize with the unified frequency of the artifacts. The portal's surface rippled and distorted, as if it was beckoning them towards a new destination, one that would reveal the true extent of the terrible cost and the ultimate purpose of their audacious decision. "Looks like we've got our next destination," Aaron quipped, a hint of nervousness creeping into his tone. Elara, however, remained still, her eyes closed, her senses attuned to the resonant frequency of the archive. "We're not just walking towards a portal," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the wind. "We're walking towards the heart of Aetherea itself." As they approached the portal, its energy enveloping them, Alex felt the weight of their collective fate bearing down on him. He knew that whatever lay ahead would require all of their individual strengths and their collective resolve to face the terrible cost of their audacious decision. The stakes had never been higher, and the future of Aetherea had never been more uncertain previously. Alex and his companions declared they would claim all three artifacts, prompting the keeper to warn them of a terrible cost that would test their resolve, courage, and unity. Now, as they stood before the portal, they were about to face the heart of Aetherea itself. As the portal's energy enveloped them, the world around them dissolved, and they found themselves standing at the edge of a vast, labyrinthine city, sprawling across multiple dimensions. The air was alive with the whispers of ancient Aethereians, their echoes resonating through the fabric of space and time. "This is Elara, the nexus of Aetherea," Elara breathed, her eyes drinking in the wonders of the city. "The heart of our world beats strongest here." A low hum began to build, like the reverberation of 1,000 ancient instruments as the city began to awaken. Structures materialized, ethereal bridges forming between the floating islands of the city. Lyra's warrior senses went on high alert as Aaron's smuggler instincts began to scan for hidden dangers, and Dr. Orion's scientific curiosity was piqued by the sheer potential of the city's technology. Alex, however, felt the weight of their collective fate bearing down on him. He knew that the city held the secrets of the terrible cost, and that the path ahead would test their unity, their resolve, and their courage like never before. As they ventured deeper into the city, they came face to face with enigmatic Aethereians, ancient guardians who wielded the power to bend reality itself. The guardians spoke in riddles, their words laced with ancient wisdom as they set forth a series of trials that would unlock the secrets of the city and the heart of Aetherea. "You have claimed the unified elements," one of the guardians said, their eyes burning with an ancient intensity. "Now, you must prove worthy of wielding its power. Pass the trials of Elara, and you shall unlock the secrets of the terrible cost." The first trial, the guardian announced, was the labyrinth, a maze of mirrors and illusions where the very fabric of their perceptions would be tested. "You must navigate the labyrinth and emerge with your unity intact," the guardian declared as the city itself began to shift, the labyrinth materializing before them. With a deep breath, Alex led the way into the heart of the labyrinth as the city of Elara looked on, waiting to see if they would emerge victorious or succumb to the trials that lay ahead previously. Alex and his companions ventured into the heart of Aetherea, entering the nexus city of Elara, where they were met with trials that would test their unity, resolve, and courage. The first trial, the labyrinth of mirrors and illusions, awaited them, with the city itself shifting to create the maze before them. As they stepped into the labyrinth, the air seemed to thicken, like a palpable mist that clung to their skin. The mirrors surrounding them reflected distorted images, making it impossible to discern reality from illusion. Lyra's warrior instincts screamed warnings, while Aaron's smuggler senses picked up on the subtlest whispers of hidden dangers. Dr. Orion's scientific curiosity, however, was captivated by the labyrinth's intricate design, sensing that the secrets of Aetherea's forgotten past might be encoded within its architecture. Alex, meanwhile, felt the weight of his companions' lives bearing down on him. He knew that one misstep could shatter their unity, and he couldn't shake the feeling that the labyrinth was watching them, waiting for them to falter. "Stay close," Alex whispered, his voice barely audible over the echoes of ancient Aethereians whispering in the fabric of space and time. As they ventured deeper into the labyrinth, the mirrors seemed to shift, the reflections warping and twisting to create illusions that threatened to tear them apart. Lyra's reflected image began to question her own identity, while Aaron's reflected image whispered deceitful promises. Dr. Orion's reflection showed him a world where his radical theories were wrong, and Alex's reflection presented him with a future where he had failed his companions. The trial was not just about navigating the labyrinth. It was about holding on to their individual identities and the bond they shared. The labyrinth was a crucible, and they were the metal being tested, their unity and resolve being purified in the fire of uncertainty. Suddenly, the mirrors shattered and a doorway materialized before them. The guardian's voice echoed through the labyrinth, "You have navigated the maze of reflections. The next trial awaits." Are you prepared to face the echoes of Aethereia's past? The doorway led to a vast, dark chamber where whispering shadows seemed to coalesce into the forms of ancient Aethereians. The chamber was alive with the echoes of a long-forgotten history, a history that held the secrets of the terrible cost. What lies within this chamber? Dr. Orion whispered, his scientific curiosity piqued. The secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past, the Guardian replied. The echoes of a civilization that once spanned galaxies and the reason behind the terrible cost. The chamber holds the collective memory of Aethereia's rise and fall. With a deep breath, Alex led the way into the heart of the chamber as the shadows closed in around them, whispering secrets and warnings and ancient wisdom previously. Alex and his companions navigated the labyrinth of mirrors and illusions where they were tested on their unity, resolve, and courage. They emerged victorious, and the Guardian presented them with the next trial, the Chamber of Echoes, where they would uncover the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and the reason behind the terrible cost of Aethereia's civilization. As they stepped into the heart of the chamber, the whispers of ancient Aethereians grew louder, their echoes swirling around them like a maelstrom of forgotten memories. Lyra's warrior senses picked up on the subtle vibrations of the chamber's energy resonated with her own, as if the ancient Aethereians were speaking directly to her. Aaron's smuggler instincts detected hidden patterns in the whispers, sensing that the chamber held more than just ancient secrets. Dr. Orion's scientific curiosity was captivated by the chamber's unique properties, realizing that the whispers were not just echoes, but a doorway to the collective memory of Aethereia's rise and fall. Alex, meanwhile, felt the weight of the chamber's secrets bearing down on him. He knew that the chamber held the key to unlocking Lyra's biotechnology secrets, but he also sensed that the chamber's secrets came with a terrible cost. The ancient Aethereian's whispers seemed to be warning him, urging him to turn back, but he was resolute. He would unlock the secrets of the chamber, no matter the cost. The chamber's whispers grew louder, the echoes swirling around them like a vortex, pulling them deeper into the heart of the collective memory. The ancient Aethereian secrets began to reveal themselves, and Alex realized that the cost of Aethereia's biotechnology was not just the environment, but the very fabric of space and time itself. As they delved deeper into the chamber, the whispers grew louder, the echoes more urgent. The ancient Aethereian secrets revealed themselves, and Alex realized that the cost of Aethereia's biotechnology was not just the environment, but the very fabric of space and time itself. The chamber's whispers reached a crescendo, the echoes swirling around them like a maelstrom. Alex felt himself being pulled into the heart of the collective memory, the ancient Aethereian secrets burning into his mind like a branding iron. He saw the rise of Aethereia's civilization, its glory and its downfall. He saw the terrible cost of Aethereia's biotechnology, the destruction of galaxies, and the devastation of entire civilizations. As the chamber's whispers died down, Alex emerged, his eyes blazing with a newfound understanding, his resolve strengthened by the chamber's revelations. He knew that the secrets of the chamber came with a terrible cost, but he also knew that he would unlock Lyra's biotechnology secrets, no matter the cost. The Guardian's voice echoed through the chamber, "You have unlocked the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past. The next trial awaits. Are you prepared to face the architects of Aethereia's downfall?" The doorway materialized before them, leading to a realm where the very fabric of space and time was twisted, where the architects of Aethereia's downfall waited, and where the true cost of Aethereia's biotechnology would be revealed previously. Alex and his companions unearthed the dark truth about Aethereia's forgotten past, learning that the cost of their civilization's biotechnology was the very fabric of space and time itself. The Chamber of Echoes revealed the devastating consequences of their actions, and the ancient Aethereian's whispers seemed to urge Alex to turn back, warning him of the terrible price that would have to be paid. Alex stood resolute, his determination burning brighter than ever before, as he gazed upon the doorway leading to the twisted fabric of space and time, where the architects of Aethereia's downfall awaited. The Guardian's words echoed in his mind. Are you prepared to face the architects of Aethereia's downfall? The fate of Aethereia hung in the balance, and Alex knew that the consequences of his actions would be felt across the galaxy. With a deep breath, Alex led his companions into the heart of the twisted realm, where the fabric of space and time was distorted, and the very essence of reality seemed to unravel. The air was thick with the echoes of ancient Aethereians, their whispers a constant reminder of the weight of their civilization's mistakes. "We're close," Dr. Orion exclaimed, her eyes fixed on the readings from her scanner. "The architect's presence is strong here. They're hiding something." "Keep sharp," Lyra warned, her warrior senses on high alert. "We don't know what kind of traps they've set." Aaron nodded, his eyes darting around the twisted landscape. "I've got our backs. Let's move." As they ventured further, the distortions in intensity, the fabric of space and time more pronounced. Alex could feel the weight of the architect's mistakes bearing down on him, the consequences of their actions echoing through the realm. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the distortions, its form unlike anything they had seen before. Its body twisted and contorted as if the very fabric of reality had been warped to create this being. "You are the last hope," the being spoke, its voice like a whispered scream. "The last chance to redeem our mistakes." Alex stepped forward, his determination burning brighter than ever before. "We're here to claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive. We'll do whatever it takes to unlock Lyra's biotechnology secrets to light." The being gazed upon them, its eyes filled with a deep sadness. "You don't understand. The secrets of the archive come with a price that will change the course of Aethereian history forever." Alex steeled himself, his heart pounding in his chest. "We're willing to pay it. We'll face whatever consequences come our way." With a nod, the being vanished, leaving them to face the twisted realm once more. The fabric of space and time seemed to ripple, as if the very essence of reality was about to unravel. "We're close," Dr. Orion whispered, her eyes fixed on the readings from her scanner. "Get ready," Lyra warned, her warrior senses on high alert. Aaron nodded, his eyes darting around the twisted landscape. "We're in this together. We'll see it through." As they stood there, the fabric of space and time seemed to unravel further, the architect's secrets waiting to be claimed. Alex felt a sense of determination, a sense of belonging that he had never felt before. He knew that this was it, the moment that would change the course of Aethereian history forever. With a deep breath, Alex led the charge, his companions by his side, as they stepped into the heart of the twisted realm, ready to face whatever consequences awaited them. In the end, it was not the secrets of the Aethereian archive that changed the course of history, but the courage and determination of a group of companions who dared to dream of a better tomorrow. As they emerged from the twisted realm, the secrets of the archive burning bright in their minds, they knew that they had forged a new path, a path that would lead Aethereia towards a brighter future. One where courage, hope, and unity would overcome the darkness of their past. In the years that followed, Alex and his companions became legends, their names etched in the annals of Aethereian history. They inspired a new generation of Aethereians to strive for a world where hope and unity would flourish, and the darkness of their past would be nothing but a distant memory. And as Alex looked out upon the stars, he knew that the true power of the Aethereian archive lay not in its secrets, but in the bond that they had forged, a bond that would last an eternity.